Your potential clients, they don't seek out and hire the best expert to solve their need. They're going to hire the one they actually know about. And so if you're wanting to attract more high value clients or just consistent clients, it's time to stop playing it safe and start being known to really like be unignorable in your area of expertise. You are listening to Amplify Your Success Podcast, episode 452. And today I want to cover how and why you need to get known for your superpowers and the valuable work you do, because it's time to lead the conversation in your market. You ready for this? Let's get started. Welcome to the Amplify Your Success Podcast. Get ready to ramp up your revenue, amplify your impact, and make your mark in the world. This is the show for experts, thought leaders, and service professionals who want to shatter their limits and achieve that next level. You're going to find out from other experts and influencers how they made it. Now, let's get amplified. Hey there, inspired entrepreneurs and business leaders. It is your host, Melanie Benson, authority amplifier to expert-based entrepreneurs. I want to talk a little bit about something that seems kind of obvious, and yet when I guide people through my Authority Accelerator program, and in particular, we really lean into their messaging, their monetization strategy, their get known strategy. Yeah, they're like, oh, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. And I start to realize, wow, what are you really known for? What do you want to be known for? And it's not always clear. And if it's not clear to you and it's not clear to your clients, guess what? Your cash flow is going to suffer. I love the process that I get to witness in people who have extraordinary expertise, who are really, they're talented, they're ambitious. They've got great stuff going on. They have a track record of producing extraordinary results. And watching them shift from chasing those clients and constantly having to go, 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 to actually putting in place the Authority Accelerator system and watching idle clients come to them, opportunities slide into their DMs, media opportunities come to them. And instead of having to convince clients for scraps and like negotiate price, to really have high value clients be willing to invest more to work with them. And yes, this even holds up in a market where a lot of people aren't buying, when you really know how to establish your leadership, your trust factors, your known for qualities. You stand out. It's what I call being unignorable as an expert. And you create this energy of, oh yeah, if you want this, you go to that person. So for some lucky few people, this may happen organically, but for most of us, we're going to have to create that level of clarity and visibility. So I do this in Authority Accelerator. If this is something that, as I speak into this today, you're like, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. We're enrolling for the next Authority Accelerator, and it's time for us to resolve this. I don't really believe, if you have expertise, if you have an important solution that's valuable to other people, you can't afford to be invisible. You can't afford to wait for other people to figure it out. So first of all, start with my free resource. It's the 7-step framework to be recognized and unignorable in your industry. And I like to borrow other people's audiences, but I cover several really powerful strategies in that, as well as a quick self-assessment to help you really check in. Like, do I have the right factors in place? Because if you're solving the wrong problem, you're going to burn out, you're going to give up, and you're going to wonder why it's not working for you. And this is important if you're established and what you used to do is no longer working. If you're pivoting, and you know it's time for you to lean into some new work. And really importantly, if you have just never quite figured out how to be recognized for your work, you've been a best kept secret this whole time. So whatever of those three things you find yourself in, go download it, read through it, and then, hey, reach out in the DMs or contact us using the contact information below and let us know you're ready to do something about this. Now, let's talk about what's possible when you get known and why there's like this really slippery slope between assuming people get it and claiming what you're known for and really leading that conversation. So, first of all, when you have this working, you're no longer going to be waiting for referrals, waiting for people to come to you, waiting for people to reach out in the DMs, waiting for people to like get it through your marketing materials, and people are going to be raising their hand. And the edge here is recognizing, do you have a clear, compelling solution, message, opportunity that you are putting in front of your ideal clients? Because if it's not clear and it's not compelling, it's not relevant, and it's not known, guess what? They're passing you over and they're going to their more visible and clear. So here's how to know it's time. First of all, you know you have excellent work when you do get clients, when you do have opportunities coming where people rave, but your audience, your community is not coming to you first. They're actually passing you up because not because the other person's better, but because they're known for their expertise and they're choosing to make it visible. And you're probably excellent at a lot of things. You can do a lot of things. Every client I've ever worked with is like, well, I can do this, I can do that, I got this, I got that, this process, this framework. But think about this from the outside in instead of inside out. When you think about it from the outside in and what are people experiencing, if they don't know where to start, if they don't really know what your key superpower is and what you specialize in and or who you specialize in it for, they're going to choose someone that has less experience, probably has less quality, but is more clear and compelling than you. Now, what it means to be known doesn't mean you have to be the loudest person, doesn't mean you have to be consistently posting on social media. It means you have a super clear message, offer, and value proposition that can't be passed over. And if you are good at lots of things, this means you may need what I call the umbrella. So I'm working with somebody who has been in business for a really long time, very well known. And like many people, he's a manifesting generator. And so if you follow human design, you know what I mean. Lots of ideas, lots of creativity. And the one thing is, this person just spits out lots of stuff. There's always something new. There's always some new spark. And as a manifester myself, I really relate to that because I'm always getting sparks. But the difference is there's an umbrella it all fits under. There's a clear, compelling positioning. And so once you get to that point, if you've been in business for a while and you got all kinds of offers, all kinds of things you put out, maybe you've kind of switched gears, you're pivoting your work. Now, what do they know about you? So the first thing you have to recognize and do is you have to ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? And there's a lot of ways to be known for something. You can be known for a solution. You can be known for a method, a framework, a system. You can be known for the type of person you specialize in working with and the outcome or the goal or the problem you solve for them. You can also get known for your brand and having a certain energetic quality or a certain vibration, or like, you're bold, or you have a certain quality to your brand that is resonant with your ideal clients. You might want to be known for a certain kind of legacy that you're building or leaving behind, or that you're building an empire, right? Like maybe there's a quality of the kind of business that you create or the kind of work you do. And you could be known, for impact. Maybe you want to be known as somebody who's really impact driven or heart driven or soulfulness. I was in a group the other day of speakers, and one of the themes was like, I want to be known for going deep and connecting deeply with people. So when you decide what you want to be known for, you need to make sure that all the other elements of your business are a supporting cast, if you will. You have to make sure that known for quality is pulled through. And it's not just what you want to be known for and that you know what it is, but does the other person, if you were to meet them in a room, say, I know what so and so does, and what they say really matches. And if it doesn't, that means you've got some brand incongruencies. You've got, or maybe you pivoted lately and you've got to kind of rebuild that visibility and that brand positioning. Don't despair. Just know that's the work to do. You got to bridge the gap between what people know about you and what it is that you want to be known for. I'm working with another client. We've been working together a couple of years now. And again, super talented, really profound results. And she's gotten, basically most of her clients up to now through referrals and some SEO work. But what started happening was it just wasn't enough to sustain herself. And so we had to look at like, okay, so let's get you amplified. Let's get your message out in a bigger way. But there's so many things she wants to talk about and do. I'm like, what's the key thing? What do you want to be known for? And that's where you need to start. Now, when we do this work, I'll just tell you, it's pretty common to have this one thing happen. And I started to recognize a few years ago that the more talented you are, and the bigger the playing field, the bigger the impact, the bigger the reach you start to imagine for yourself. And maybe I'm imagining that with you. The more common it is for you to have old stuff come up that tries to smack you down and get in your head and talk you out of it. They're fears, they're barriers. And there's a lot of barriers that start to surface when you're playing a bigger game and you're stepping out of that comfort zone. And one of the big ones, when you really start to say, okay, I'm going to claim this message for myself, is who am I to claim that? Notice what happens for you when you hear that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm not really putting out what I want to be known for because I kind of worry what people are going to think. And what I notice so often is people who are letting these barriers get in the way and dictate what they will say yes to, what message they put out, what work they get known for. What's really happening is there's a conflict about being seen for that kind of success or that kind of impact or that message. I went through some of that myself, and I will own it was not the most aligned message, but it really felt right at the time. But I was working with a mentor who said, really, you're America's productivity coach or something like that. And I thought, am I really? And at the time, I think that's really what I knew about myself. And I knew that there was that quality of productivity. And yet it didn't feel full. It didn't feel complete. It didn't feel like the most energetically aligned version of what I was here to do. Have you ever felt like that too? Where you're like, I know there's more I'm here to do. I just don't really have my glimpse on it yet. That's why doing the Authority Accelerator process, or if I work with people one-to-one, that's a big part of what we're doing is we're really getting that kind of internal frequency of I'm here for this, and then creating the external clarity so that it like amplifies easily. So if you catch yourself, who am I to say this? Or what will people think if I put this out there? And is this really true for me? One of two things is happening. So if you're in the who am I to say this, you've got some limiting beliefs, some conflict. And that's all stuff that we may need to clear energetically. We may need to clear out some old wounds. Sometimes people need to do nervous system work so that their body can hold the frequency of the thing that they're stepping into. That's all valid. But if it's not aligned, it's because you haven't fully embraced what you're really here to do. And that's work that you need to do with a coach or get into some clarity about that with yourself. Now, let's say you're recognizing, I got to really be known for something. And I'm realizing that I'm getting passed over for speaking. I'm getting passed over by clients for flashier competitors. People don't really like there's like this energy of like, I like you. I just don't know what you do, which I've had with a lot of people over the years, where I really like them. But I'm like, and they're saying, I can help you. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, they're not really claiming their full brilliance yet. When you are in that seat for yourself and you realize you're holding back, like you're not getting the media picks, and you see your competitor getting on that key podcast, getting on that stage, and you're like, but I should be there. Here's what I want you to do. As I mentioned already, the first step is you need to really claim what you want to be known for. When you claim what you want to be known for and you embrace it and you embody it and you integrate it into everything you're putting out, everything gets so much easier. It's when you don't have that clarity and you're kind of, maybe you're emulating what you see other people do, or someone else's messaging really sparks something for you. You're like, oh, I could do my version of that, right? Okay. Or maybe you're just letting ChatGPT write it all for you and you haven't really programmed it to the depth that allows it to embody and to write in your voice. You need to get clear what you want to be known for. It's a compass. It's like getting clear on what your North Star is, and it will influence everything else. And then the second thing, and when I'm working with people in Authority Accelerator, what we're doing is we're creating their lighthouse message. So this is my trademark system of unlocking a message that basically parts the waters. When you have a lighthouse message, it's like this tractor beam of clarity. And what happens is you will push away the people that it's not really for them. They're not going to get it anyway. They're not going to say yes to it. They're maybe interested, but it's not right for them now, because the energy of that tractor beam is so clarifying that the people that do get in it, they're either, wow, what, Susie, John, Jake, whatever the person is, they're realizing this is what I've been looking for. This is what feels right to me. This is something that I want more of. It pulls them into you. It also works with strategic partners and speaking opportunities, and maybe on a less kind of compelling nature, but there's this spark of curiosity. It's like there's something there. When I did my last summit, I picked every single speaker because I feel that spark with them. There's something about what they put out and what they're doing that just feels really compelling. And they kind of pull into me. And I really enjoy working with them. So you need a lighthouse message. This is your defining message that helps people recognize why you. And then what I do next, and I think where a real gap is for a lot of people, is you need to create unique, high value content that informs and educates why you. What's making you different? What's making your offer stand out in a sea of same sounding stuff, right? Like if you think about your potential clients, they're just getting bombarded with information. So you have an opportunity to clarify, to compel, to act like a catalyst for them and go beyond like simple tips and quotes. And I mean, I do quotes, but I do very compelling quotes that really speak to something that I really believe is a clarifier for them. And to showcase what I call showstoppers, which are different frameworks and stories and things that really create that energy. What I see as a misstep for so many people is they've got content going out and maybe a lot of content, but it's not moving energy. It's not compelling. It's not informing in a way why you over anyone else. It's just interesting. And that's an edge that you need to embrace. Now, there's a lot of ways to get to that, but really when you start to get why you, what's setting you apart, and you understand your lighthouse message, that next step starts to come more naturally. And then not last, but the next step in this piece is you need to amplify the reach of your message. You need to make sure that you're getting it in front of new audiences where your ideal clients are searching for solutions, they're paying attention, they're looking for a spark to pull them in. And this is happening a lot for people on stages and podcasts. So I'm a really big fan of getting your message kind of fine-tuned so that when you put out a podcast, when you are a guest on someone's podcast, they really get, oh my gosh, I've been waiting to hear this person. When you speak on a stage, there's like an energy that pulls the right people in. And then ultimately you want to start owning your own conversation. This is about taking the lead. So you need to claim that Lighthouse Message and then create your own authority platform. And there's so many different ones. I'm going to be covering them in this series. So this whole series that we're doing right now, you are going to hear why or different strategies to elevate your authority, to really stand out and to make sure people know why you. So none of them will work as well if you don't have the step down. So I highly recommend you do this. And if this is speaking to you, I would encourage you to apply right now for Authority Accelerator. You may need to start with my message monetization launchpad, which is like really honing in your Lighthouse Message. And then we got to amplify the reach of it through Authority Accelerator. It's time to turn your message into that tractor beam, that spark of energy. And for you to really decide, yes, okay, I will shine brighter. I will claim this message. I will be a beam of possibility for the people that I'm meant to work with. And, even if you don't feel 100% ready, start right where you are. Okay. So be sure to tune in next week as we get into our next strategy. I'm going to share with you a very powerful approach to helping you clarify what you want to be known for, but amplifying it in a massive authority boost move. Okay. Can't wait to hear your insights from this week's episode, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in today, Amplifier. We're going to keep this conversation going, and I want to hear from you how you're going to amplify your authority and make a greater impact. Before you go, please take a minute to give our show and our guests some love over on your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe, rate, and review. Leave your full name, and I'll spotlight you and your authority on social media.